finally there. We're at part 3. We had 3, then 2, last one. About time, right? So this one is all Craftsman. This is all the Craftsman stuff that I picked up between the auction and a couple things I got at one of the yard sales too. So let's jump into it. Let me show you all this beautiful Craftsman stuff. A lot of it, for the fact I have that industrial box packed full, a lot of it's going to be going into that industrial box. So check it out. So you guys know me. I'm always saving Craftsman for last. This isn't all the Craftsman I've got. There's a couple more loads probably. But in this, we've got all the wrenches and a few other pieces. So we'll start off. There's no 6 points or anything, but a lot of really nice 12 points. So we got 7mm, 9mm, 13mm, double open 11 and 10, 9x7, a 5/8, 3/8. Some of these need more work than others. This one's a little crusty, but it's an 11/16 and it will clean up. 11/16 is my most common size I found putting the flea market booth together. 1/4, 8. These are the ones that the latest I've been collecting, this panel without the lines. Nothing special about them. They're from the 70s. Yeah, they're V's. There's nothing special, nothing makes them more valuable or anything else. I just like going for the anomaly. It's a 5/8. I've got that one. This is a 13/15. 5/16. A 14/12. Another 1/4. 11/32. 13mm. A 3/4. One's a VV. A 9/16. Then we get into the more of the flying V type stuff. These are pretty beat up, unfortunately. That one is a flying V. It's got Milt's name on it. Milt wanted people to know it was his. So Milt, I don't know if it was you or somebody else after you. They didn't do a real good job of taking care of your wrenches, man. Here's another one, and it's Milt's as well. This one does not have the V. That's kind of those couple of year pre-Vs. Another one that was Milt's. This one has the V. This one does not have Milt's name on it. It's a double box, 3/4 and 7/8. And it is the pre-V also. So that's cool. Like I say, the pre-Vs are ones I've been kind of collecting. So this one is a set of ignition wrenches in the Sears Craftsman envelope. And then this is one in a Crown logo envelope. Here we've got a double ratcheting, upside down, Sears Craftsman. So that's a 1977 into the 80s logo. Both sides do work. And then this one is a 3/8, 7/16. And both sides work on it as well. That's nice, because lots of times you'll get them on one side, it won't work. So these came out with the other pipe wrenches that I got for $10. These are Craftsman, and they are the Japan BE, or BF, sorry. These are nice. Craftsman Japan is nice stuff. Don't think of it like Craftsman China. Let's see, and that one was the 10-inch, and this one is the 14. And again, it's the BF Japan. I do not have those. I've got the USA, the kind of gray-blue colored ones, so I will be keeping those. We get into ratchets. This one's a V, 1/4 inch, still with the chrome switch on it. This one feels like someone packed it with grease. It moves very freely, but it's like thick when you turn it, and you can see the stuff coming out of it. That one needs a good cleaning. This one is one of the 1/4 drive round heads. You can see all that rust on it. It's locked up tight. Even with the thumb wheel, it does not want to move. So this one's going to have a date with the DOC. And we'll see if we can get it to turn and get it to come apart. And if we can, maybe get it rebuilt. This one is cool. I always like the look of these things. I just picked one up not long ago for $1, I think, at a flea market. It is the, it looks like I did it upside down probably. Yeah, 314-15L AB, and it's the pass-through style. I think the one that I got is not the pass-through. I think it was the 3/8. Switch works nice. The only spline socket that I got in that whole group, and it came with the larger group from the bigger auction, was the one that's in it. None of the other Craftsman spline sockets were there. You can see those engage totally differently for those that don't. I've never used these, and it's a 7/16 spline style. So they do make a really nice pass-through. And then we've got this V, it's the 44975. The detent ball and the release work really well. The switch flips nicely. And it feels like it's been recently rebuilt. It doesn't feel dry, and it doesn't feel greasy. So this one may just need to come apart, get a good cleaning, re-oil it, and put it back together. That one's really nice. I was impressed with that one. So that's all the wrenches, ratchets, that kind of stuff. So now we'll move into the pliers that I picked up. And these are Craftsman, vanadium. You can see it's the pointy A. No markings here. Tips go together good. A little bit of gap, but not anything major. Might just be because the pin's a little dry. Not super dry, but a little bit. The blades touch well. So everything seems to be really nice on these. And it's that triple diamond embellishment. And these are the Circle C. And I'm not up on my old pliers enough to remember who Circle C was, so I'll have to look at it. These, though, I mean, there's no marks on them. These will clean up beautiful. Those will be a fun project. And those came from a yard sale. Earlier when you saw the F wrench that I got, the More Forge, I also picked this up. And then I got the Stanley pointy thingy from that one as well. And this came out of one of the auction boxes. It's an 8-inch Dunlop. I can't remember if I've got the 8 or the 6, but it is the Circle Y. As most of you know, the Dunlop was Sears, like lower price brand compared to Craftsman, but these are just like the Craftsman adjustables of their time. This one moves nice and smooth. I say this came out of one of these tool auction lots. It was just a flat of a bunch of tools. And it is, this was actually the piece that I saw in that grouping that I wanted, and then a bunch of the other stuff that was in there were like Craftsman sockets and wrenches. And then back to what I got at this yard sale. So I picked up this Craftsman F wrench. Still with the green. Still looks to be in beautiful shape. This one's just going to get some cleaning to get any of the staining off. I don't want to damage any of this green. Just want to get areas like this cleaned up. It is a V. So like I said in the earlier video, the Morforged stuff is what became V. And this one looks very much like that Morforged version I had that had the Circle M stamped up in, or cast up in that area. I love these green tools. Anytime I find a tool with original paint, I'm excited. This one I think is going to be a fun one to clean up. Whoever the guy was who had this stuff, he took really good care of it. You know, he had this and these pliers, the Stanley pokey thingy that looked like it had never been used, and that Morforged F wrench, which is in nearly as nice a shape as this. So that's this round. Grab the next one and see what all we got. Okay, back with the next round. This one took a minute to get set up for you guys. So I got a ton of Craftsman sockets. Start off, we've got 3 impact sockets here. All 1/2-inch drive. There, I just thought these were cool. They say impact in the oval. So we got 3/4. An 11/16. And a 1/2. So I have to check those against mine. And I've got some shallow impacts. I don't know if I've got full sets or not. As we come over here, we've got deep 3/8 drive. And we go from 13/16 down to 3/8. Only missing an 11/16. Those are all 6-point. We've got a metric 15mm 6-point and a 19mm 12-point. In the shallows, we go from 13/16 down to 3/8 without missing any in this first set, and then subsequent ones along the way. We've got, let's see, these are metrics. So we've got 15mm down to, I think, 10mm. And there may be a few missing in there. We go over here into 1/2-inch drive. What was I missing here? 7/16. Oh, those are metric. That's why. So these 2 are metric. What's cool about these is they both have the top knurling, which were made to go into the metal tins. But we've got 7/16 here up to 3/4. 2 sets of those, plus a few extras. But then we also have, in this back row, we go from 7/16 all the way up to 1 1/4 without any skips. So that's a full set there. In deeps, we've got a 15/16 and a spark plug wrench or spark plug socket. These are our quarter drives. So these 3 over here are SAE, those 2 are metric. They just kind of skip around. And then in these shallows, we go from 3/16 up to, I think, 12. Sorry, 1/2 inch. I don't know why I said 12. 1/2 inch. Those are duplicates. And then here we go from 12. I actually had a 13, but I put it in this other set in the back because it matched. And it was a missing one. Down to 5 with some skips. As we move up here towards the back, we've got these Torx bits. 2 are missing. Let's see, we go to 40, so 35, 30, maybe. I'm not sure. These are a series you honestly don't see much of anymore. And that is the Craftsman Evolve. So the Evolve has never really been collectible. It is still Craftsman, it is still warranted and all that stuff. It was their first move into Asia market for their standard stuff. They did have some of the Japan stuff, but Evolve, I can't remember, it was either Taiwan or China. I think China. It was their first move into there, and it really kind of ticked off Craftsman people. Here in the back, we've got a deep 7/16 Flying V, 6-point, 3/8 drive. Got a deep 1 inch Flying V, 1/2 inch drive. This one's a 13/16, again, Flying V. And then we end up with the 11/16 Flying V, wherever that's at, over there. So the Flying V deep wells, I don't have very many of. Those are ones I have a lot harder time finding. The shallows, I've got a ton of. Now finally, in the deep sockets in the back, this is a 15/16. You can see the underlying Craftsman, and it's a Circle H, which was one of New Britain's identifiers. They had a BE and a Circle H, and you don't find a lot of Circle H's or BEs in the deep wells either. This box was in one of the auction lots that I got. It had just random sockets in it. Actually, the BE was in there, and the 3 V's were in here, I think. Were these in here? Call me a liar now. No, these were not in here, sorry. They were just some other sockets then. My bad. But it's in really nice shape. So this I may end up doing, I think it's a 3/8 drive set is what's supposed to be in here. So I may do a 3/8 drive set if I can put them all together. This one definitely will not get a repaint. The sticker's in beautiful shape, and all this patina I can live with. That's about the worst of it right there on the bottom. Put a little patina sauce or something on there, make that look beautiful. We got a ton of extensions. The ones that stood out to me the most were these 3. And that's because they are, that one's a 3/8, it's a V. This one's a single line V. And this one's a single line V, but just look how nice those are. Those just seem to be in great shape. And they kind of have that more brush look to them as opposed to the high polish look. So those I like. Those will probably go in my set just because they're that brush look. Let's see. That guy actually is going to go there. So this was in there. It's the anvil with the release for the detent. And it is the slightly newer release. It doesn't have the end that comes out. And this one is a 3/8. I was hoping it was a half whenever I saw it, but it's not. It's a 3/8. If it was a half, it would be going into one of the ratchets I had that was missing the whole release mechanism, but it's still going into my spares. And I'll check my other ratchets, and if I have one that needs this anvil, I'll have one for it. And then finally, this actually came out of the toolbox that had the Mac ratchet that we saw earlier. You see, other than the 13 that I just pulled out of these ones, all the rest of these were in that toolbox. They are all 6 points. Yeah, we go down to 1/2 inch here. And I think the 6 point I had here, I think is 3/8. Yep. So while that would line up with it, that is not right. It's got the extension, the spark plug socket. Oh, and I just added that extension. You saw me do that. The ratchet, which actually, funny enough, this one needs to come apart. It may be a broken pawl, though, because it's doing that. It could be a broken spring, because the switch is also floppy. So this one has to come apart, and I'll see what it is. Probably not the gear, but I'll go through it and see. I know that in the house, in the I've got 3 kitty litter boxes, each half full of sockets that still need to be cleaned and sorted. I'm guessing in there, I will find the ones I'm missing out of this set. I can put it together and display it this way in the booth and have someone buy it that maybe wants to have the tray to set them in. So that is the socket load that came out of this haul. One more load and we'll be done. All right, so here we are with our last piece from this haul. It's a pretty well used and abused Craftsman vise. I think I picked this thing up for $7.50. Pretty sure the auction on this one was $7.50. It honestly doesn't look that beat up until you start to look right here. And that was hard to see in the pictures. I don't know if this U-beam is bent or if just the head of the vise started to come off of it. Like someone cranked it down with something in there so tight that it started to pull the top off. Because if we look here, that's kind of what it looks like. Looks like something's happened right in there. I have never tried to pull or reset the end piece. I don't know if you can. When we look here, that looks straight. And it seems like if it would have bent this U channel, that it would have a kink in it, right in there somewhere. But this one it's a 4.5. It is made in USA. There's the bottom side. I mean, other than that bend, and then whenever they over-tightened it, I'm guessing they just monkeyed the hell out of this handle. But again, that can be straightened out. The jaws themselves are not in bad shape. It's just, I'll tighten it up here. When you get in there, even there, it's not, I mean, you can see that's definitely the difference, but it's not horrible. I guess if someone just used it as is with a little bend in it. So I think it's going to be a fun one to try to clean up and see if I can straighten that out. I might have to invest in a press. You know, send it over to Scout Crafter and let him use the dake on it. See if he can straighten it out, right? I know that I'm spending dake money, but I might spend Harbor Freight money on a press. They got their 20% off coupon this weekend. So maybe it's time for that 20-ton. This side's pretty generic. 204 in the castings. And you can see that's the weld right there. And it hasn't even popped that, but it's put a crack in the paint and stuff right in there. And that's what tells me that it's probably just was shifting this end. So this will be a project in and of itself. But for $7.50, I figured it'd be a fun one. We'll have to see. I keep seeing these guys, George and everybody else, redoing vices. I've never redone one. I took the Harbor Freight one that I had that I did something like this to it. I didn't do this, but I had it pretty boogered up. Actually bent the beam. Had to straighten the beam out. Hit it with a flap grinder a little bit. It still had a spot it was catching. Re-grease everything. Clean up the thread because I had actually put a couple nicks in it. So I had to clean it up with a grinder. And got it back where I got it fully functioning. It's actually under my bench now because I've got a different brand. Can't remember what brand it is right now. But it's one of the old USA ones that, unfortunately, they sold a Taiwanese-made one at Lowe's with the branding on it. They also did a Craftsman version of that one. But I've got it over on the bench right now. This one, though, I like because it's a swivel. My other one is not a swivel. So this one may replace it. It may not. We'll see. Stay tuned, I guess, and we'll figure it out together. So now you guys have seen everything. I'll get the camera flipped around. We'll close this one up, call it a day. So what'd you guys think? A lot of run-of-the-mill Craftsman stuff in there for sure, but some cool stuff. That Dunlop adjustable, I really like that thing. I think my other one's still in the house, so I haven't grabbed the other one to see if I have that size or not. I think it was an 8-inch. I'm thinking the one in the house is a 6, but it could have been an 8. So I will definitely have to run down into the basement, into the actual burnout pit, and grab that one and see. If I've got it, great. If I don't, that's cool. That'll give me 2 sizes. I'll finish them the same, make them look like they're brothers, you know. Those pipe wrenches, I have not run into any of the Craftsman Japan red pipe wrenches. So it was cool to pick up the 2 different sizes. The pass-through ratchet, I haven't run into one of those either. I mean, not that they're anything special, but definitely cool to have, you know. At least Craftsman was trying to think and do something at that point. And not just give us the same mindless tools like they seem to be doing today. But, that's enough of that soapbox. When it comes to my favorite, though, got to be this guy. I just love anytime these old green tools have that original green paint still in really good shape. I don't know what years exactly they used that green paint. I think it's a neat look. I know I've got a few hammers with it, and this is my first F wrench that's got the green paint. My other one needs restored. It's a size larger, I think. It needs restored, so I may end up painting it to match this one so that they go together. I'll have to look at it and make sure that they look, I think that they look like the same series, if I remember correctly, but I'll double check. So this guy's my favorite. What's yours? Well, I hope you guys like that 3-part series, and we'll jump into the next one and see what we got coming up. Remember, I'm Burnout, I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.